Imagine a picturesque Dutch colonial home nestled in the quiet town of Amityville, New York. Its charm masking an ominous history. This is the infamous 112 Ocean Avenue, a beacon of beauty with a haunting past that's hard to ignore. From the outside, the house is a vision of suburban idyll, a classic Dutch colonial-style home with a gambrel roof and charming white shutters. Its appearance is inviting, almost comforting, with its lush lawn and a wave of tranquility that seems to wash over it. But the facade is just that, a facade, a deceptive mask hiding the dark secrets within its walls. Step inside, and the atmosphere changes subtly. The air is heavy, as though carrying the weight of unseen presences. The rooms, beautifully adorned and spacious, whisper tales of a chilling past. The house, once full of life, now echoes with a silence that sends shivers down your spine. The layout of the house is like a labyrinth, a maze of rooms and hallways that seem to hold secrets in their corners. The living room with its grand fireplace, the dining room that once echoed with laughter, the bedrooms that witnessed unimaginable horrors, all hold a story to tell. Perhaps the most chilling of all is the basement, a subterranean space filled with shadows and a distinct chill. Here, a hidden red room discovered by the family's dog became a focal point of terror and malevolence, radiating an evil energy that seemed to possess everyone who entered it. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue is more than just bricks and mortar. It's a living, breathing entity with an aura that's both captivating and terrifying. It's a structure that's seen the best and worst of humanity, a silent witness to the joys of family life and the horrors of a tragic crime. The beauty of the house is undeniable, yet its allure is tainted by a sinister presence that is palpable to those who dare to venture within its walls. The house stands as a testament to the fine line between beauty and terror, between the dream of a perfect home and the nightmare of living in one. But beneath the charm, a sinister presence lurks, turning this dream home into a living nightmare. Our tale begins with a crime so horrific, it still echoes through the halls of the house. In the quiet hours of November 13, 1974, a truly chilling event took place within the walls of the Dutch colonial home at 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville. Ronald DeFeo Jr., a 23-year-old living a seemingly ordinary life, committed an act that would forever taint the house's history. In a few short, terrifying hours, he brutally murdered 6 members of his own family while they peacefully slept. His parents, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters were all victims of this unimaginable crime. As authorities delved into the case, trying to comprehend the why behind such a monstrous act, Ronald's chilling explanation sent shivers down their spines. He claimed to have been influenced by evil forces. A voice, he said, had whispered in his ear, compelling him to commit the heinous act. He insisted that he was not alone that night, that an unseen presence had guided his hand. Yet, his claims were met with skepticism. Was it the desperate plea of a man trying to escape the consequences of his actions? Or was there something more sinister at play, something lurking within the house that had driven him to madness? As the news of the massacre spread, the house on Ocean Avenue became a dark spectacle, a grim reminder of the horror that had unfolded within its walls. Yet, despite the gruesome history, it would soon become a home again, a place where a new family would seek to build their lives. Little did they know, the echoes of the past were far from silent. The house seemed to harbor a malevolent presence, a lingering darkness that was far from finished with its terrifying games. The line between the living and the dead, between reality and nightmare, was about to blur in the most horrifying of ways. This tragic event set the stage for a series of inexplicable occurrences, the gruesome prelude to a tale that would captivate the world, leaving us questioning the nature of reality, the existence of evil, and the very boundaries of our understanding. Enter the Lutz family, blissfully unaware of the horrors that awaited them. George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, had just moved into their dream home, a beautiful Dutch colonial at 112 Ocean Avenue. But little did they know their dream was about to morph into a nightmare. Almost immediately, the family began to experience strange phenomena. The air would suddenly turn arctic cold. Inexplicable odors permeated the house, and an eerie symphony of untraceable sounds filled the rooms. Doors and windows seemed to have a life of their own, opening and closing at will. The walls of their dream home began to ooze a sinister green slime. The Lutz family wasn't alone in their new home. Dark apparitions began to appear, and disembodied voices whispered in the corners of the rooms. Their house was alive, and it was not friendly. George Lutz seemed to bear the brunt of the malevolent presence. His normally affable personality shifted dramatically. He became moody, volatile, and showed an unhealthy obsession with the paranormal. It was as if the house was slowly consuming him, feeding off his energy. Kathy Lutz wasn't spared either. She was plagued by nightmares, a constant sense of dread clinging to her like a shadow. Their 3 children lived in a state of fear, their innocence shattered by the eerie happenings that pervaded their home. The supernatural activities escalated over the 28 days they lived there. Objects and furniture started to levitate as if obeying an unseen force. A hidden red room found in the basement became a source of terror, radiating an evil energy that seemed to permeate everyone who dared to enter. Their dream home had become a house of horrors, and escape seemed impossible. The Lutz family was trapped in a nightmare, living on a razor's edge between the normal and the paranormal, between sanity and madness, and the worst was yet to come. In their desperation, the Lutz family sought help from the world-renowned paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens, a husband and wife team, had gained international fame for their work in the field of demonology and had investigated hundreds of hauntings, possessions, and other paranormal occurrences by the time they were contacted by the Lutzes. Upon their arrival at the Amityville house, the Warrens were immediately struck by a palpable sense of malevolence. They later recounted feeling a heavy, dark presence that seemed to permeate every corner of the home. During their investigation, they reported experiencing many of the same phenomena that had tormented the Lutz family, including cold spots, strange sounds, and the distinct impression of being watched by unseen entities. But it was the infamous red room in the basement, a small windowless space hidden behind a bookshelf, that drew the Warrens' attention. They claimed that this room was the epicenter of the malevolent energy infesting the house, a focal point of terror from which the haunting emanated. Following their investigation, the Warrens concluded that the Amityville house was indeed haunted by a powerful, malevolent entity. They believed that this entity was somehow connected to the horrific murders committed there just over a year before the Lutzes moved in. Their experiences, along with the Lutz family's terrifying ordeal, were documented in a book titled The Amityville Horror, written by Jay Anson. The book quickly became a bestseller, catapulting the story of the Amityville house into the public consciousness. The publication of The Amityville Horror ignited a media frenzy, with the public both captivated and terrified by the chilling tale. The story was further popularized by numerous adaptations, including movies and documentaries, which painted a sinister picture of the house on Ocean Avenue. Despite the skepticism and accusations of hoax that would later surface, the influence of the Warrens' investigation and the publication of The Amityville Horror cannot be understated. Their involvement lent credibility to the Lutz family's claims and played a significant role in shaping the narrative of one of the most infamous hauntings in American history. The tale of the Amityville house spread, captivating and terrifying the public. As the story of the Amityville Horror spread, so too did skepticism and doubt. A tale so chilling, so unnerving, couldn't possibly be real, could it? Yet the Lutz family's experiences, their sheer terror, seemed to tell a different story. As the public's fascination with the Amityville Horror grew, so too did the controversy surrounding it. The Lutz family's claims of paranormal phenomena were met with skepticism by some, outright disbelief by others. The question on everyone's lips was, could this be a cleverly orchestrated hoax? Critics began to point fingers at the family, accusing them of fabricating or exaggerating their experiences for financial gain. They argued that the Lutz's story was too sensational, too convenient. The supernatural occurrences, the demonic forces, the chilling manifestations, all elements of a perfectly crafted horror tale designed to captivate an audience and sell books. The Lutz family, however, stood by their story, insisting that their experiences were real, that the terror they lived through was genuine. They faced their critics head-on, defending their claims against accusations of deceit and manipulation. Meanwhile, the debate about the authenticity of the incidents raged on. Some firmly believed in the Lutz's chilling tale, convinced that the house at 112 Ocean Avenue was truly haunted. Others, however, attributed the paranormal phenomena to a combination of psychological factors, a desire for media attention, and perhaps even a cleverly crafted hoax. In the midst of the controversy, one thing remained clear. The Amityville Horror had left an indelible mark on popular culture. It had sparked imaginations, fueled debates, and inspired countless adaptations. The tale of the Lutz family's terrifying ordeal had become a phenomenon in its own right. As for the infamous house at 112 Ocean Avenue, it stands as a chilling reminder of the Lutz's ordeal. Subsequent owners have reported far fewer supernatural occurrences, but the eerie aura of the house remains. The Amityville Horror remains a mystery, its truth buried deep within the walls of the infamous house at 112 Ocean Avenue.